What's your take on the development, right? From our black culture perspective, do we see the decisiveness from black men, or do we see more black men who don't show leadership, who don't show any accountability, because of the fact how they were raised?
I think what you see is not so much the fact that they were raised just by their mothers, but the fact that the father was not around to teach them or to teach us things like being persistent in achieving your goals, not wanting to have like the short-term success, but because that's always the bad kind of success.
Not giving up.
The short term, short term. So you should always go for the long term goals, long term success. But that you need persistence for that, and things need time, and that's something that a father can teach his son. And I think in our culture, I think that's something that we are missing.
Yeah, and next to that. You also from your father you learn how to think logical.
Yeah,
as a kid,
more rational.
Yeah, and we all know it's no secret. Women always often react out of emotion. And when you don't get that, and you get raised by a single mom, for example, you get raised with those emotions.
Yeah.
So the way that you are looking at the world at that moment when you're an adult is different from someone who has been raised with a father.
Exactly. And if you look at in prison is filled with guys who didn't know how to deal with their emotions, and they dealt with it in the wrong way.
Yeah, and I believe it's worldwide that the men who are in jail, I believe, the most of them are from single households.
Yeah. So and that's my take also, right? In the sense of women underestimate some of the things, some of the behaviors they showcase towards boys in particular. Those are more harming than they are doing any good, right?
Yeah.
So really nurturing them, really always overprotecting them as well. It's something you need to be aware of, that boys, they need to make mistakes.
Yeah.
They need to take accountability. They need to make decisions.
Yeah.
Right? Because like a father, for instance, he's like, okay, go outside. If you see a dad in the kindergarten, kids playing, and a mom, it's totally different.
Yeah.
The dad stays at one place and he's just watching, and a mom, on the other hand,
it's always beside the kid,
always following the
always
kid,
moving around.
always moving
if
around.
he's going out of the slide, then
she's
she's almost holding him.
Yeah. And that carries on even when they're older, right? So, I'm a basketball parent, and it's funny to see that a lot of the boys, and I think with soccer as well, right, in football, every parent on the sideline is watching their kid. But when there is an accident happening, you see the moms are running on the pitch.
Yeah, and I've seen it. Yeah,
the moms are still standing.
Not with me. But
I was one story, right? There was one story that my ex-wife told me. My kids were swimming because in the Netherlands we have so much water. You need to swim at a young age, right? You need to learn really quickly. So one of the kids was swimming, but was a little bit, not doing it well, and was like struggling a bit, right? Yeah. She told me there was a mom next to her. He was already agitated. She was like very anxious. She jumped in the freaking water.
Oh man!
She jumped in the freaking water to save her kid. Well, nothing was happening.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right?
Yeah, I've seen it with my nephews one time. They were one of them was playing soccer, and he got tackled. And while he was lying on the floor, and these are children 8, 9 years old. So how hard can it be? They get hit,
Yeah.
they cry a little,
They get
and
up.
they get on.
Yeah.
You know, she ran up the field, starting to make all kind of accusations towards the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
kid. The referee was just
Overwhelmed,
surprised.
yeah.
He was overwhelmed. He was looking at it. He needed a few seconds before he could act. You know,
Yeah.
what is this woman doing here? We're
Yeah.
playing soccer. And then she started to have a conversation with the manager of the opposite team, telling him what he should do, stick it up there, and things
Yeah.
like that.
It's overprotective.
Yeah.
It's
But-
overprotective.
And when you-
but should we blame the women for this? Because they're just being themselves,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
protective.
Yeah.
And it's
Nurturing.
Like it's like you mentioned. It's like
Yeah.
if a dad is absent
Exactly.
in the whole phase, in that phase, like a dad, for instance, he can grab her and it's like, hey, just let it go, let it
Exactly,
slide, let
yeah.
it slide. But that's the thing that we need to address. We see single parent households are on the rise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we need to address it. We need to mention like, hey, if you want to have future leaders, if you want to have great men, stop doing this to your boys.
Yeah.
And start thinking like, what do I find attractive in a man?
Yeah.
And if it's not that, then you shouldn't teach your son this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.